Rainwear isn't the sexiest topic, but it is a crucial one if you live in the UK and we're heading into the rainy season. So we've got loads of choice on the Urban Rider website. We have condensed it to our favourites in certain categories, and you can jump to a particular category if you want to because they're all time-stamped. Let us know your favourites in the comment section. Let's begin. One of the most flexible sets on our list is the REBELHORN Ocean Rain jacket or trousers. The jacket coming around £85 and the trousers around £80. And they use the same construction throughout. The jacket you can see on the mannequin here. The trousers I have in this handy bag. That is something you'll see across any of the waterproof options we'll show you today. They all come in a bag of some sort that you can bring with you, some bigger, some smaller, but portability is key when it comes to any waterproofing. They're made using a polyester material with a polyurethane coating, which you can see on the jacket here quite clearly, which makes it as waterproof as it is. And you can also see the bonded seams on this one. These are said to have a waterproof rating of 8,000 millimeters, according to their hydrostatic head test. And you will hear different reference points as far as what is considered fully waterproof. And it does change slightly depending on the source that you go to. But broadly speaking, anything between 2,000 and 5,000 millimeters for a rating is considered waterproof for light to average rain. 5 to 10,000 millimeters is probably the sweet spot when it comes to motorcycle gear. And that should handle moderate to heavy rain. And anything 10,000 millimeters and above is highly waterproof for heavy rain and harsh conditions. Normally, it's a bit of a balance between how waterproof something is and how breathable it is. So generally speaking, the more waterproof or the higher that rating, the less breathable it will be. So you don't want it to kind of exceed that level by too much because you're still going to be wet on the inside. It'll just be sweat instead of rain, and that's not any better in my opinion. So there's always a balance there somewhere. So this is 8,000 millimeters for its waterproof rating, and it has a rating of 2,000 grams per square meter in a 24-hour period when it comes to breathability. So a nice balance on both fronts. How do I look?
Do that bit up. Top.
Which bit?
Top there.
This bit?
Yeah.
Why?
Because otherwise it looks like you've got a belly. It frames that bit. Yeah, exactly.
Flexibility is easily my favourite aspect to the REBELHORN waterproofs, and there's a bit of repetition there because you'll hear me say the same about the MERLIN waterproofs, but when it comes to waterproof layers, for me, I like to prioritise the flexibility of it, most specifically in the trousers. One, just because of the comfort levels that affords you, but two, because it puts a little bit less pressure on the seams, which are places where waterproofs can fail if the pressure gets too much. So with trousers, when you're moving around a little bit too much, or just a lot on the bike, obviously it puts a lot of pressure on the crotch, which tends to be the first place it fails, and probably the first place you don't want it to fail with the waterproofs. So these are a great option. The next items on our list are equally flexible, but they also have the highest waterproof rating of all the items I'll show you today. These are the MERLIN HYDROSHIELD jacket and trousers. The jacket comes in around £100, the trousers also around £100. Like the REBELHORN jacket I just showed you, these use a polyester material with a laminated polyurethane coating and welded seams, but they're said to have a waterproof rating of 18,000 millimeters and a breathability score of 6,000 grams per square meter. So it goes without saying that I like the flexibility from the MERLIN waterproofs as well. Obviously, it just means higher levels of comfort, a little bit less pressure on the seams, all of that good stuff. But these have a few extra features, such as the heat-resistant panels on the inside of your legs, which is an area where it's high friction, tends to be quite hard wearing, so it's good that it's tougher in that area. And it's got a breathable panel as well between your shoulder blades, so ultimately these are more breathable, and they have a higher waterproof rating and breathability rating as a result. And they look damn fine too. The next items on our list aren't going to win any style points. In fact, they might well be the ugliest thing I ever show you in this studio, but practicality is the most important thing. Waterproofing is crucial and value for money cannot be ignored. These are the RICHA Rainwear jacket and trousers, and the jacket is around £46 as of the making of this video. The trousers around £27. They actually neglect to mention a specific waterproof rating for the RICHA Rainwear, but it's made using a tough and definitely waterproof PVC outer. as you can see, this is quite a tailored fit. It's lovely and accentuating on the hips, and this is generally what I expect from waterproofs, but it is one of the most affordable anyway. And I have no questions or qualms about its waterproofing or the quality of that. It's more about the breathability with something like this one. So much less breathable, but it is much more affordable, and ultimately, if you just want to stay dry, good choice. Next, we have the most comfortable option, the SPADA AQUA jacket and trousers. The jacket come in around £60, the trousers around £40. They're made using a 4-way stretch polyester with elastane, which actually has a decent amount of flexibility in it. Not the most flexible option I'll show you today, but really decent in terms of its give. It also has a fixed waterproof membrane and taped seams as well. And these score a waterproof rating of 10,000 millimeters and a breathability score of 5,000 grams per square meter. So a couple of points on this one. One, as Max pointed out, these are weirdly soft. I like it. It feels really good to the touch on the outside. Obviously not really an important matter because you're not really in contact with that. It's more about the waterproofing. They've got decent waterproofing. It's hard to argue with the value on these ones, and actually a decent amount of flexibility, and they're also pretty lightweight, and they've got a comfort liner on the inside. All these things are great. The one thing I would say as a bit of a caveat though is that the legs are maybe not as long as I would want, especially if you're on the bike and you're bending your knees, they tend to come up a little bit. I think they do come down far enough ultimately, especially if you've got tall boots on anyway, but a really good option either way. Also, it's got a hood, which is just an added bonus. I probably wouldn't use it a lot myself, but that's handy if you're just gonna wear it by itself, off the bike, walking around. Maybe walk the dogs wearing a jacket like this, I don't know. You do you. Next, we have the simplest, lightest, and most compact choice, the REVIT CYCLONE 4. These have a price of around £65 as of the making of this video. Now, once again, sadly, REVIT do not publish a specific waterproof rating for their HYDROTEX Light waterproof membrane, but from our experience, they are very trustworthy. This uses a HYDROTEX Light membrane with a polyurethane coating and taped seams, and it's also the same as you'll find on the next two items as well. This one actually is a little bit more tailored or fitted, I would say, certainly in comparison to the RICHA, but looks aren't the most important thing. Obviously, waterproofing is what we're here for. Still good value for money, and the fact that it hasn't got a comfort liner on the inside, one, means that it packs down really, really small, and two, means that you can see things like the taped seams on the inside, which is always something you want to see with your waterproofing layers anyway. Now, if you're looking for some waterproof trousers to match the CYCLONE 4 jacket, we have the REVIT Acid 4 H2O rain trousers for around £45. The Acid 4 trousers use the same material as you'll find with the jackets and the RAINSUIT from REVIT that we'll mention. It is not a very flexible material, which in the jackets is less of an issue. With the trousers, I would like a little bit more flex around the seat of your pants to allow for movement on the bike. But still really affordable, and I really like how small these pack down. They're very easy to bring with you. If you want to batten down the hatches and have the most complete coverage though, you might want a rain suit, the likes of the REVIT Pacific 4. And obviously this is a one piece, so it goes at the top and the bottom and it meets in the middle. So there are no gaps on this one, so it really does block out everything you want it to. It is made using the same construction that I've mentioned thus far. It uses a PWR shell with polyurethane coating. It has a HYDROTEX Light membrane and taped seams. They are on the larger side. It is easy to get over the top of your clothing, but obviously the fact that it is a one piece does make it a little bit more fiddly, more noticeably around the zip than anything else. But in torrential conditions, may be the best choice. Now, if you want to know more about any of the items mentioned, links are in the description. We actively price match at Urban Rider and offer free returns on anything over £50 bought within the UK. Let us know your favourites in the comment section, and I'll see you soon.